Hey folks, I want to share with you the most powerful pro tip in all of Dreambase, and actually this is a pro tip that applies to any AI application on the planet. It's all about context. We talk about context a lot, and I really want to describe how we use it in Dreambase and how you can use it as a power user. So, some users when they get into reports, they'll be creating reports. This is all about pickleball in this data, but they might be in a report, and in our report builder view, which I go into here, you can ask for small revisions, and we'll see users sometimes go in a little bit of a cycle, not getting exactly what they want and kind of like spiraling. Whenever that's happening, it probably means that your project context isn't exactly right. And what do I mean by that? So you can always click on this project context and see what's the overview that we're trying to do with this report. What are my personal requirements for things I want, and they can be technical and just general. The technical architecture is crucial because it talks about the tables, the relations between the columns. This, if it's not right, the AI will always start from the wrong place because the project context is the starting point of all things in Dreambase, and again, in most AI products out there. And the UI design is just colors and metrics and charts. This you can actually get a starting point of what you're going to want. So this one's going to do bar, area, and Sankey, you can see here. So if I don't want that as a starting point, I should edit my context. But what if I don't want to write all this context? A lot of our users have a little bit of confusion with projects. Projects are the things that hold the context for the reports. So when I'm starting a new report, I should always create a new project. So that's real easy if I go over here. If I want a new project, this is where I just put what I'm going to want. So this is all about paddleball, courts, paddles, and apparel in this database. It's a really small database, so it's a simple one. So I might say I want proper apparel for courts. And this is just going to talk about the apparel and courts. Here in the details is where you can get really specific or really vague. It's all on you. More detail can be good, so you usually want about as much as we're seeing with our example data here. And you can say things like, look at apparel and courts, which are two tables that we have, and make charts and list for the best matches. And you could say fun stuff, like you could tell it to skip metrics, and that's instructions. If you don't want metrics or if you don't want insights, anything you might want or not want, you can define that here. And if you don't know your tables, you can use our handy project suggestions here that will try to look for the title and description and then marry up that data for you, since we know your entire database in Supabase. Or if you're a pro user and you know your database, you can just select it. Like for me, I could just pick two tables because that's easy. But what if you have 50 tables or more? You can click generate report ideas, and our agents will go and compare your requests with the data and try to marry the two and come up with some creative ideas. And they won't be incredibly creative, they're just creative within the realm of what you're asking for. So this should come back quickly, and there we go. We've got 5 ideas. Proper apparel for courts is the most obvious one. If I click that, look what it did. It selected apparel and courts. I can hover over those, and I'll actually see the columns in that as tables, and I can see the joined data, and I just get an idea of what I want. Again, this is simple for me. For you, you might have a lot, so this is super powerful for your users on your team that might not be intimately familiar with every part of your database. So again, crucial, you need to start with the left nav and go click new project if you really want to nail this, because it's going to create this context, which I'm going to do now. It's going to go off and write this context, the overview, the requirements, the technical architecture, and the UI design. And this is its starting point for everything. Every day I come back to Dreambase, if I create a new chart or if I have a new chat conversation with the agent, it's going to use this like, I wouldn't say the Bible, but the Constitution at the very least. It can be amended like the Constitution, but it's always going to be the starting point. So your prompt is actually secondary to this context. So this context is crucial. So here I can see the little small preview, and if I wanted to, I can click edit and actually get in there and read it and modify it. We let you do this at any time. That's why we put it in all the places. You're going to find the project context everywhere in chats, reports, project overview. So I can see I'm pretty happy here. This is what I asked for. And again, this is a crucial thing that some people don't understand. The generate report is the report builder that I was just showing you. It's very focused on the report with revisions. if I'm unsure about things, I should build with the agent, because the agent's going to still build the report for me, but it's going to talk through everything with me. Since this is simple, I'll just generate report, click there. It's going to generate a new project in the left nav. And now we're in that new project. We've got that context that I just talked about. I can bring up all that context again and review it, edit it if I want to. And then I've got my simple prompt. The prompt is the least important thing here compared to that. So I can just see it's going through and doing queries and executing against that project context. So it's going to go through here and you're going to see the queries, whether you understand SQL or not. At least you can validate it's talking to the right columns and tables to build this report. And then it's going to complete it and I can evaluate. From there, I can do iterations in the instructions and the revisions over here. But if I see something I don't like and I know 100% that it's wrong, that's where you got to go and edit the context. Context is the key to everything. So if I come in here and I'm like, oh dang, it got the wrong column name here. That's where I want to go edit this and save it, update it, and then now when I come back, it's going to have a better starting point in the future. So that's one thing. While this is building, I'm going to jump in another tab here and show you some other context. So if you go into your settings in the left nav, there's user preferences. I'm going to open that in a new tab. So if I jump over here, this has got my personal preferences and my workspace preferences. These are two more pieces of context. And this is a superpower user thing for you, and it's a convenience. The personal preferences, this applies to every workspace. So I'm a member of a lot of workspaces. Some users just have one workspace. This will get applied everywhere. So for our demo data, I never wanted to use our own Dreambase data or our own employee data. So I always tell it to ignore us there in all workspaces. For this specific workspace that's about paddleball, I could say something just like, I don't like pie charts for paddleball data reports. Something like that, and I could save that, and it will see that every time it's creating a report and skip pie charts for you. So this is really more like applicable just to the workspace. This one's global. Let's go check back in. Cool. So remember with this one, I asked for proper apparel for courts. So it looked at the apparel, it looked at the courts, and now it's matching those things and it's looking at the group by court type for the apparel and all the fun things it did. So cool. Now I can ask for revisions. So I actually can say, I want a Sankey chart for apparel to courts. And that's great, right? It's going to go and do this revision for me. So I'll click Revise Report. But like I said, if I want always for that to be true, I can actually come in here and say, I want Sankey for this. And then I can update the UI design for that. And I could also come in the overview and just say things like, make sure to use Sankey as the main chart. So you get it. I'm editing this, so moving forward now, every time I create a report with the report builder or with the agent chat, it will come back and listen to my rules and it'll know I want a Sankey here. But that's just for this project. Like we talked about before, if I want Sankey all the time, I can say, always use Sankey charts. So no pie charts, but Sankey only for this workspace. For all workspaces, ignore Dreambase data. Hopefully this makes sense because the combination of these things is the power user part of Dreambase. And also if you use products like V0 or Bolt or any of the AI builders, Cursor, Claude, you can set your rules and your cursor rules and your context. It's the same kind of idea. You're applying at a higher level the context that the AI is going to follow and listen to you every time. Cheers. Let us know how it goes for you.